All right, let's talk about mistakes and failures. And I'd like to start with a question: who here has had mistakes and failures? And I think that's a unanimous all of us. And then the other question is: who likes how mistakes and failures make you feel? Right? Again, I think that's all of us. Mistakes and failures don't feel good. They're never going to feel good. But here's what happens to so many of us: mistakes and failures don't just stay in the moment. We tend to take them with us and we like to think about them over and over again. And it can end up in a cycle and it will lead to doubt, frustration, maybe you lose confidence. And the thing about that line of thinking is mistakes and failures are absolutely going to work against us when it comes to us trying to hit our high performance, when we take them with us in that way. And so I want to look at how do we overcome mistakes and failures? How do we redefine them so that we can look at them differently so they actually can fuel our performance instead of holding us back or putting us in that downward spiral of thinking? So looking at what can we do about it? What can we do about mistakes and failures or overcoming them? And number one, you've just got to start looking at them differently, because here's what happens when you are out there competing, performing, and it really doesn't matter if you're an athlete, if you're a professional, when you are out there doing your thing, if you are trying not to make a mistake, so many times we end up going halfway, or we are not playing all out and we're being careful, we're playing it safe. And so that works against us, and we will end up only giving it 80% because we are trying so hard to not make that mistake. And I like to say that is a mistake in and of itself, because you are holding yourself back. You're not letting yourself go all out. And when you don't go all out, there's no way that you can reach your next level. So that is number one. The other thing that you've got to do with mistakes and failures is you've really got to learn to look at them as building blocks. And they're there to build you up, right? You're taking the next step and looking at those mistakes through that lens of, all right, here's what happened. Here's what went wrong, and here's what I can do to fix it. And so flipping your focus from a negative focus around everything that went wrong to looking at that situation through the lens of what can I do about it? How can I get better? How can I grow? And, how can I use that to hit that next level? Let it motivate you instead of pulling you down and you beating yourself up. So looking at mistakes and failures through that new lens of redefining what it means when one happens, because they're going to keep happening because we are human. The other thing you can do with mistakes and failures is learn to have a reset. And when you are in it, right, maybe you're in the middle of your sport or in the middle of a meeting and something happens, something goes wrong. Instead of hanging on to it and letting yourself downward spiral, which typically leads to another mistake, and it'll pull you out of flow, it'll pull you out of that high state if you don't use a reset. And so I like to use a reset phrase or mantra, whatever you want to call it. But the point of it is that when the mistake happens, you've already pre-planned what you are going to tell yourself so that you can tell yourself that quickly, and your brain doesn't have the opportunity to go, oh my gosh, I can't believe that I just did that, or that just happened, or who saw, what I did, whatever that is. But it's that fast negative response that our brain wants to dive into whenever that mistake or failure has happened. So a reset is predetermined, that when it happens, I want you to choose one. Pick your own, or put a couple phrases together. Some are, I've got this, next play, focus forward, keep going. And I even love, just in terms of life, reminding myself, nope, everything is going to work out. Everything works out for me. So, but pick that phrase, pick a mantra again. So when the mistake happens, you've got that, and your brain is ready to go in the positive direction instead of the negative. And when you do this, when you can fully use mistakes in your favor. Let them fuel you, let them build you, let them help you to hit that next level you, because you've got to appreciate them. And it's like, how many mistakes can you make in going for it, right? Go fast, give it 100%, give it everything you've got. Don't worry about the mistakes, reset when they happen, and you are going to climb that much faster when you learn to do that with mistakes. And that is your edge.